Can you explain what specific strategies that you use to amplify your own executive presence? Because I mean, you are, you're on so many different boards. You've represented yourself in so many different avenues, and you've accomplished so much. So, what sort of things do you seek out to be able to do to amplify that for yourself?
So I think it has to start with the love of people. I really find people interesting, and I love people, and I love who I work with. And if I don't, then I don't work with those people or speak to those people or try to maybe change a little bit of the conversation. And so I think that, when you love to work with people, to communicate with people, it's very easy then to be able to deliver your message. And I think it's also a matter of respect. Each person or each someone we come in contact with brings something to the table, right? Has something important to say, has something important to do. Everyone has their own kind of mission and vision on how they want their life, their communication, their work. And it's just really interesting to sit and just listen. And many times, those visions or missions, they unite. Right? Because if we're women and we want to do better, or if we're men and women and we have a common, a determination to bring a certain product to market, whatever it is, there's always something that unifies us. And I always try to look for that one thing that we have in common. There's always a unifying thread.
Hmm. Well, you have to feel like you have some alignment with people. I think, for you to be able to build trust and, from that trust, be able to then form a relationship, in which case allows you to go forward and create some amazing opportunities and things.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And being a little loud can help too.
Yes. I mean, it's interesting too, being a woman, and you obviously, in all of your career path, you would have come up against some pretty interesting scenarios too. And you mentioned
Sure.
meeting people is one of your passions, and that's one of the things that you seek out to find out more about people, before you actually engage with them. So how have you managed, all the various different scenarios that you've found yourself in terms of, really positioning yourself and standing out in those situations where perhaps you haven't found yourself before or new to you? Have you employed any specific strategies for yourself?
Well, I grew up in a home, where both my parents had a career.
Yeah.
And I never saw myself as a woman. I always saw myself as a professional. And so some barriers that some of us have, I didn't really experience them. Of course, throughout the years, you get a lot of comments and, these harassments, and we all, encountered those, some more, some less. But I think that mainly, the thought of I'm a professional, I have knowledge, I have experience. And of course, with age, that becomes a lot easier. But I also think that it's a matter of daring. I always say there's, three things that we need to succeed. We need knowledge, we need a network. But I think the one important thing is also we need to dare. And I always tell, people that want to hear is, when I raised my first million, it was unbelievable. Oh my God, someone gave me $1 million, but then I went on and raised 10, right? 10 million. And so it's not different. You just have to dare bigger and wider and larger. And so what's the worst thing that can happen? What is failure? And so it's all a matter of just putting things in perspective. And looking at the world with a big smile, and to say, I'm going to dare, I'm going to do that, I'm going to take that position. Even this position at Ocon, inside of me, I felt, oh, I'm not worth it. They want me to be the CEO. Why? Oh, just bring a good CEO. I'll support the CEO. I promise. I'll be really good. I'm a really good number two. And I remember, one of my board members and our biggest investor saying, of course not. You are going to be the CEO because I'm going to put my money on you because I trust that you will, deliver. And I was like, okay. And I owe him that, right? Because we all have doubt, and we all have places where we feel it's inadequate. the first time I was asked to sit on a board, what do I know? But then you see, it's just people, and it's just people talking, and it's just people talking strategy, and it's something that you love, and it's something that you care about. So speak up, and this is your opinion. And I got to tell you, sometimes it's a little difficult because my opinion is not always the same as the other people around the table. You know, but that's where authentic communication comes in. And when I'm unpleased, I show that I'm unpleased. And when I'm happy, people see that I'm happy. And, you know, sometimes things don't go your way, but it's really about, again, you know, smiling, the love of people, being able to put yourself out there and dare, and of course, being authentic.
It sounds like you have incredible courage, you're incredibly confident, and you have a strong belief in yourself, which has to have come from your childhood. You know, if
Yeah.
your parents were entrepreneurs, they obviously were very outgoing and very ambitious, and, you know, I think
Very.
probably got that from them. But good on you, you know, Karen, because I hear stories of so many women that know that they have the aptitude, they have the credentials to actually go for the top role, but they don't. They pull back because it's easier, I think, to pull back, like you said. Oh no, put someone else in charge. You know, I'm a really
Yeah.
good number two.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
hadn't sort of thought that, hang on a second, I can do this. I've got the credentials, I've got the presence, I've got the know-how, I've got the empathy, you know, which I think is what women bring to the table too, isn't it? Is an enormous
Definitely.
empathy and understanding people and not being as hopefully as judgmental as you know as other people can be. So that's an incredible story. I love that you shared that. Thank you.